am wanting, I am thinking to arise and go forth singing. Sing my songs and say my sayings, hymns ancestral harmonizing, lore of kindred lyricking. In my mouth the words are melting, utterances overflowing, to my tongue are hurrying, even against my teeth they burst. Come, good brother, little brother, pretty playmate of my childhood, start now with me for the singing. Sit together for the speaking, now that we have met together after separate pathways traveled. Seldom do we come together, rarely do we have each other, in these ragged border regions, these benighted northern marches. Strike we now, hand in hand, fingers into curve of fingers, so that we may sing good songs, voice the best of all our legends, for the hearing of our loved ones, those who want to learn them from us, those among the rising young ones of the growing generation. Magic verses we have gathered, from the belt of Väinämöinen, under forge of Ilmarinen, sword blade of the man far-minded, aim of Joukahainen's crossbow. From the way back fields of Northland, from the heaths of Kalevala. Long ago my father taught me, as he carved his axe handle, and my mother also taught me, though she kept her spindle spinning, as I, milk-bearded mischief maker, clabber-mouthed and tiny tumbler, rolled about the floor before her. Magic never failed the sample, Louis never lacked for spells. Old in legend grew the sample. In her spells old Louis vanished, Lemminkainen in his capers, Frippinen in his singing. There are other words of magic, incantations I have learned, plucked in passing from the wayside. Some I broke off from the bushes, others stripped from tender saplings, rubbed from hated, snatched from hedges, as I roamed about the cow paths as a youngster herding cattle, on Honey Hill and Hillhawk's golden, by the side of spotted Frisky, trailing Muderkey the black one. Then the frost was singing verses, many rhymes the rains recited, on the sea waves songs came drifting, magic charms the birds have added, and the treetops incantations. These I rolled up in a ball, made a fitting yarn ball of them. In my sled I put the yarn ball, in my sleigh I hauled it home, ride it to the threshing barn, put it in a copper casket, and set it on the bench end there. Long and lone in the dark, in the cold my verses lie. Shall I take my verses out, say my songs from freezing weather? Shall I take the casket from the shelf end, set it on the bench end here, underneath this famous roof tree and beneath this splendid ceiling? Shall I open up the casket, treasure box of magic sayings, snip the end off from the yarn ball, and undo the knot entirely? I will sing a song for you, and I'll make it beautiful. Do it on a rye bread diet and wash it down with barley beer. And if it chance no beer is brought me, no drink offered to the singer, then from a leaner mouth I'll warble. Sing along on water only, to make this evening's joy more joyful, honoring this famous day. Or tomorrow's joy it may be, for with the dawn a new day comes. I would tell you the story of the Contention, of the bardic battle between Väinämöinen and Joukahainen. Väinämöinen was the greatest of Finland's heroes, not because he was the greatest swordsman, but because he was the greatest musician, which made him the greatest magician. And young Joukahainen was jealous. He was jealous of Väinämöinen's skill, of his talents, of his charms and his magic songs, and he declared to his parents that he was going to travel to Väinämöinen and contend with Väinämöinen. Well, his father forbade it. His mother, his father, both said, he will sing you down. He will sing you down and bewitch you, till you cannot even move your feet, till you cannot even bend your fingers. Young Joukahainen thought to himself, my father gives good advice, and my mother's better still, yet I know best of all. If I want to match my skills, I must sing the best of singers now. I will put stones of shoes on his feet. I will give him gloves of granite, and I'll give him a boulder for a hat. Heedless of his parents' warnings, he took his gelding, and he rode across the Northlands. He rode for 1 day, for 2 days. And on the 3rd day, heedless of where he was going, he ran into another sled. Crash! The old man in the sleigh spoke up to him. Of what clan are you, riding so stupidly across the Northlands to make a wreck of my poor sleigh and crash it into kindling? I'm Joukahainen, old man. And who are you? Oh, me? I am of no one of importance. My name is Väinämöinen. Now, since you're so young, draw aside and let me pass. Young? Joukahainen leapt from the sleigh. Age is of no matter. It's he who has the mightier memory and holds the greater magics. So you, eternal singer, Väinämöinen, draw your sword and contend with me now. I'm not going to battle you. Not your knowledge, not your weapon. Not with you, you pitiable creature. He will not stand up and fight when challenged to a duel. I'll sing him into a pig. I'll knock him here and there, and I'll throw his body on a dung heap. This finally raised old Väinämöinen's wrath and stirred his anger, and he sang. And these were not the words of children, the song of a bearded man. They shook the earth, and the lake splashed over. Joukahainen's sled took root. Saplings sprouted from his sleigh. His horse became a spotted rock, and young Joukahainen sank, thigh deep, as if in a swamp. Young Joukahainen panicked. Väinämöinen, let me out. I'll pay the highest ransom. I have 2 crossbows. One is quick in striking, and the other is more accurate than you can believe. I don't need your crossbows. My walls are covered with bows. And Väinämöinen sank him deeper still. Sank him waist deep in the meadow. Väinämöinen, I have 2 boats. One is the most handsomest of vessels, and one is fast for racing. You can take either one. I am the greatest boat builder there is in the Northlands. My cove is covered with them. And he sang till Joukahainen's hands were coated in granite. I'm the owner of 2 horses. One is faster than the wind, and the other powerful for pulling. I don't need your stallions either. My fields are full of horses. And he sang him deeper still. Now, Joukahainen panicked with the marsh up to his mouth. I'll give you my sister. That could be a sweet thing, to have someone care for me in my old age. So eternal Väinämöinen sang his magic backwards. Joukahainen rose up out of the quicksand. His horse turned back from a rock. His slave back from a tree. But for what comes next, that's another tale. For now I ought to shut my mouth and tie my tongue up tightly, stop the singing of my song and the echoing of my voice. For even a horse will lose its breath, winded by learning a journey, and a scythe will lose its sharpness after cutting hay all summer. Water wearies of long running through the windings of the river, and an ember will die out after burning all night long. So, I'll stop and cease and end it. In a ball I'll wind my verses, twist them in a tangled skein, put them in the storehouse loft and bolted there with bony locks, never, never to be released, till the jaws themselves are loosened, teeth pulled out and jaws pried open, and the tongue is freed once more. But, however that might be, I've skied a trail for singers. Skied a trail, snapped the brush strips, broke the branches, showed the way. And that way now we'll run the future, on a new course cleared and ready, for new poets of greater power, singing songs of mightier magic, for the growing generations.